Hey, it's Jasmina with Tea Leaf Reading again, and we are drinking my friend's beautiful tea, Long Winter Nights. So herbalist Brenna Lilly made this, and even though we're at springtime, I like it so much. That's what we're drinking today. And we're getting ready to read the tea leaves for the month of April 2026. But honestly, whenever you get this, whenever it crosses your path, take the message. Maybe it applies now. And of course, I don't always express everything perfectly, so feel free to ask me questions or take what works and leave the rest. So for tea leaf reading, you do drink all of the tea, and I kind of purse my lips and rotate the cup as I drink, so the floating leaves will kind of get stuck toward the rim. And you don't want to push any of the tea leaves down because you want to read the tea leaves just as they are. It's okay to swish a little bit, but try not to like change the pattern on purpose. And if you swallow some of the tea leaves, don't worry, they are not lethal. As you're drinking, you can think about your question. You can also be in conversation with people, but if you're in conversation, make sure the conversation is positive or focused on what you're about to talk about, but don't talk about anything unlucky or unfortunate. Keep the vibes nice. Tea leaf reading is done in a lot of different cultures, and I definitely grew up with it in my Romani, on my Romani side of the family in our home. We would read leaves for each other every Sunday. You can read more about that in Secrets of Romani Fortune Telling. Listen, you're going to get leaves on your face. It's fine. It's lucky, actually. But I wrote Secrets of Romani Fortune Telling with Paulina Stevens. And leaves in my hair. It's usually not this messy. Just me today. Yeah, and you can get that anywhere you get books, any bookstore, online or in person, or ask your library. Libraries are amazing. Go to the library. See, we're getting a little lower now, and I kind of keep drinking from sides that don't already have too many tea leaves, just so I don't swallow them so much, but also, who cares if you do? It's not a big deal. Okay, you really want to drink until there's like nothing left. So I'm going to try to just get one more drop. And then, yeah, then you want to flip the cup upside down in the saucer. And if there's a little bit that drips into the saucer, that's okay. If there's a lot, you can read that too as something that comes at a later date. You just need to let it drain for a little bit, maybe a minute or two. And when it's ready to turn it over like this. And it helps to have an opaque cup that has a kind of like shallow round bottom. This is a perfect teacup to read. You can get them at antique shops. My friend Holy Crow has a bunch in their shop that's opening up in Marlborough, Massachusetts. It might be open by the time you read this. So we're just going to take a look. I read personally from the center of the cup outward. The center is happening right now. Outward is happening later. It's sort of like you are cloud gazing. You're looking for what things look like to you. Nothing is going to look perfectly, exactly like something generally. So it's what it looks like to you, and you can look at it from all different angles, but you can also have a kind of meditative stare where you're not like staring transfixed, but you're staring with a soft gaze, letting the symbols come together. Perhaps they're making scenes, perhaps you're seeing how they're related. And so this is a little ritual that you can do yourself, every day if you want to, and just meditate on the symbols that come up in the cups. They can be omens that you work with, but I'm going to take a minute with these and just see what I see. Why don't you write down what you see? Okay, what I really love about tea leaf reading is that it's like dream logic. It's like taking the client on a journey with you through your collective dream, which is at the bottom of this cup. So what I see is, if you hear my puppy sniffing and snorting in the background, that's all that is. Hi, Lillian. Wag, wag, wag. She's very good at tea leaf reading as well. So I see like a little foal, a little baby horse in the center of the cup. This doesn't always happen when I read, but I see the body at the center of the cup and the head is reaching up toward the rim of the cup, which makes me feel like this month feels like it's one long effort to just be a little baby horse. Like the little baby horse isn't standing at all. In fact, I see on the underside of the horse what looks like a house to me, a farmhouse perhaps being put together or constructed. I see a bird resting on the roof. And usually in tea leaf reading, especially in my family culture and practice, horses were seen as a really lucky omen, something that's here to be supportive to you, an energy that you can really work with. Horses are so special in Romani culture. They support us and have traveled with us for so many centuries and helped us make livelihoods and go from place to place. And our relationships to horses are very famous. And so I'm thinking of this fortunate, lucky little symbol, the symbol that often represents hard work and going far, but they're just a baby. And maybe because the head is reaching out to the outer corner of the cup, which emphasizes later in the future that while this month has a lot of things to get moving toward and get going, the progress might be slow and steady. And it's almost like you're getting your legs. When horses are born, they can walk pretty soon, but not immediately. They're a little stumbly at first. And I feel like this is a brand new baby horse. So be patient with yourself this month as you would a brand new baby horse. This symbol that is hovering above the horse, almost like it's floating, to me looks like a two-headed cow. And it made me think of that heartbreaking poem, Two-Headed Calf by Laura Gilpin, which I'll post right now for you to take a look at. And what I find striking about this is tea leaf reading is about our associations, right? So we started off with the horse, which for me was a cultural association and what I understand about baby horses and how that relates to you and me. The two-headed calf is a literary reference. I don't really have any associations with cows other than traditionally I grew up with the symbol being about abundance. And so I am factoring that into my reading. But you might notice as you're reading your own leaves that you have associations that might be from literature or pop culture or mythology, not necessarily a cultural tradition. Although, I think those things absolutely intersect, but could even be a personal experience that informs your interpretation, which is why when I'm reading for, a client, I would say, this is what this looks like to me, and this is the message I understand. Do you have any associations with baby horses, or two-headed calves? And so in the comments, let me know what your associations are and how you see these things. Or if when you look at them, you see something different, and tell me what you see and what you feel like that means. But the two-headed calf, especially because the poem that I associate it with and because it's connected to abundance, it suggests that there is something that is marvelous about you, about each of us, something that the world doesn't want to understand, something the world wants to destroy sometimes, how our uniqueness or what makes us special or what makes us marginalized is what makes us dangerous and what puts us in danger. But it's not really the anomaly that puts us in danger. It's the people who decide it's an anomaly. And so in a lot of my readings, my message of spiritual healing or love is always going to be that we band together for our human rights, our safety, our sovereignty, that we are looking out for each other, that we are walking a walk of love. And so this speaks to that as well. But you might notice that with your special brand of abundance, whether that abundance is related to money and career or something else, perhaps you are being asked to stick out a little bit. Understand that that doesn't mean that you won't get any negative attention, but it is what makes you special. Ultimately, that Laura Gilpin poem is something that I read again and again. And when I taught poetry to students of all ages. It's a poem that I would often share because it's so powerful. And sometimes the art we render, or the stories we render, or the love we render out of difficult experiences are the most profound. And so, don't shy away from what makes you unique. Then these little images are kind of strange to me. I saw little flower fairies or flower creatures of some kind. I also saw the letter K here. And it looked like someone ironing on an ironing board. And interestingly enough, ironing came up for me recently. I've been learning how to sew again. I'm an okay seamstress if I have to fix something in a pinch, but I don't really know what I'm doing. And I was talking with someone about iron-on adhesives to help fabric keep from fraying when I'm doing patchwork and mending. And so ironing boards, they smooth things out, they make things look presentable, or in the case in which I was discussing them, they help your mending patches stick and the mending that you do actually stay. And so it seems like, after a little time spent being a baby horse this month and contemplating what it is to be a two-handed cow, maybe you will be taking measures to make sure your work sticks. And there's something about an appreciation for nature that could be the nature of things. These little flower fairies make me feel like it's the natural world, but it's the spirit of the natural world. And the letter K might be significant to someone. Since this is a community reading, I can't personally connect it to anything for myself, but the letter K might be helpful. And sometimes things aren't what we think they are. So let it unfold. Let's see what happens. And then over here, there's some interesting imagery where it looks like, to me, someone is pulling apart an office chair with great effort. And then there's like a little tent, or like a couple of little tents with a bird watching over them. And there seems to be a desire to return to whatever you feel like your natural state is, or the natural world. If you're in the northern hemisphere like me, maybe it's been a long, hard winter and you want to be outside more. Maybe this is a good time for you to work more outside or be more outside. If you feel like you're fighting your 9 to 5, is there a way that you can kind of build in a little natural human time where you get to be an animal? Coming back to the center of the cup, I had mentioned that it looked like there was a house being constructed. Now it sort of looks like a cat to me, a little cat face. And there was a bird resting on the top of it. And it feels like there's just more of this invitation to rest and coziness. It doesn't mean that we're not working toward the big goal. Like the horse for me is this forward motion. We're in the new year of the fire horse. Like we are going places. But maybe the fire horse is a baby right now. Maybe the fire horse is finding shelter. Maybe the fire horse is just finding their legs. And that's okay. We're going forward, but maybe it's not the biggest strides. You just have to be consistent with it. And having the house in the center suggests that we need our foundation, but also this is a good time to make sure our homes, or otherwise our stability, is what it needs to be in order for us to grow and move forward. So I do lots more readings and things like this on my Patreon. You can join there for free, or you can join for as low as $3 a month and have access to a bunch of readings and Q&As and circles and all kinds of things that I do. You can also book private tarot, palm, and tea leaf readings with me online at jasminavontila.com. And you can schedule that anytime. And of course, check out my book with Paulina, Secrets of Romani Fortune Telling, and listen to our podcast, Romanistan. It's a wonderful podcast where we interview Roma from all walks of life. Roma are a diasporic ethnic group originally from India, also known as Gypsies, is technically their slur or misnomer. We're not Romanian. It sounds similar, but we're not Romanian. And we've been associated with this work, fortune telling, among many other trades, metalworking, horse trading, performing, because of centuries of persecution. And so our book, Secrets of Romani Fortune Telling, is about us being raised as fortune tellers and teaching you how to read tarot palms and tea leaves, and teaching you about how the Romani culture and history have informed this work so much. Romanistan is our podcast where we interview Roma from all different walks of life who do really cool things. And we give a monthly tarot reading for the month ahead. It's super fun. It's a great place. Follow us wherever you get podcasts. And if you like this, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. I would love to meet new people on here. Thanks so much for being here. Sending you so much love and appreciation. Tell me what you saw in the cup and what it meant to you.